Okay, so that means that the governor oil is our last oil to change, and then this machine is completely ready for all of next season. Well, minus the bearing, and we still need to clean the air filter, and I think that's it. Alright, so let's take the tank off. Okay, so to remove to change the governor oil, we're going to take off the fuel tank. So let's start by dismantling all this stuff. I got this on Amazon and I love it. It has all these pockets, zippers, tools. I keep my winch controls in there and the charging ports for the battery to top off the battery. So I've lost all of my original bolts. They've come out over the years, but we need to take that one off, and there's one on the same side. We need to take that one off, and then there's two right there, 1 and 2. And of course it's everything on this side, there's one on the other side. I've lost all my original ones, or they were never on there, so I just bought some generic hardware and installed them. I think they're 10 millimeters. Let's see if we can get them off. Ugh. Looks like we need to clean that up too. Look how dusty and dirty it is. It's supposed to be black, not brown. So we can almost barely see the governor from here. It's that weird metal square. I think that's the corner of it. You know, I think we might take this fuel tank off, push it out in the driveway, and give it a thorough clean. Now we got 2 brackets holding 2 vent tubes on. We need to remove. And I think we just need to wiggle it right on off now. So these cords right here need to come underneath it. I almost forgot. We're going to clamp off the fuel line and turn the fuel gauge off. We failed to do that. Oh. Okay, what did we learn? Turn the valve before undoing this hose. Good time for us to do a valve adjustment, because there's the valve cover. Alright, let's take a look at what we have to do for this. We're not going to do, I actually did a change. We're not going to do a change. We're just going to, and I think that's because when I had it out, we're just going to inspect the fill hole, make sure that it has oil, and if it doesn't, we're going to fill it up a little bit. So that bolt right there, come on baby. Okay, well there's 3 bolts right there, 1, 2, and 3. Number 2 is what we need to check. Come on, camera. That one right there. So we're going to crack it, see if there's, we're going to clean it, then crack it, and then we're going to see if there's oil at the fill line. If there's not, we're going to add oil. So let's, we think that is a 10 or an 8. No, let's try 8. Okay, a little bit of pro tip. If we pop off this PCV valve from there, we can move that tube out, giving us a little bit more room, and we've almost got it out. Okay, I've got it off. Now, if you're wondering how am I going to look in there and see if the oil is there, I don't know yet. Maybe I could just I'll put a tube in there and start pushing oil until I see it overflow, and then we'll call it a day. But let's put a rag below there and pump a little bit of fuel in there and clean the surface. So I'm gonna do all that off camera because at this point there's no way to hold this camera. Okay, I was able to get a outboard motor gearbox pump with a smaller tube. You cut that little angle into it, and then I was able to, oh my gosh, and then I was able to pump oil into it. It takes 10W30, and of course, you know me, I overfilled it, so now it's flowing out a little bit. So once that settles, reinstall plug, and then the governor oil service will have been completed. And at that point, we've done everything on here except for valve adjustment, carb cleaning, and eventually I just ordered all the parts to do the new pulley for the PTO clutch. I ordered a new bearing. It was $27, some new seals, and not only for those things, but I had to buy new seals for the drive shafts and stuff too, because if all this is coming off, all the seals in between there are going to get damaged. So I bought all those new seals. Okay, so a few more moments of letting that drain, and then we're going to reassemble everything, do a test drive, check for leaks. I hope this video helped you guys out. I hope to. So most important lessons were, don't overfill that because it just takes like 3 teaspoons. I overfilled the crap out of it. When you're doing the oil filter on the bottom, one hand pushes up, the second hand will do the spin, and the valve adjustment can't be done by just taking the seat and the gas tank off. We will need to take the front fender off for sure, possibly the rear fender because it's blocking the bolts to the exhaust cover. And then once we get that off, we have to take this plate off, or maybe we'll be able to see the screw from there to see the top dead center timing. But the front has to come off because we can't physically access the spot from over here. We can't see it. We're going to have to come down at this angle, I believe, to be able to adjust the valve. What else am I forgetting? Oh, we're gonna lube up all the grease points here in a whole second. There's a few. There's one on the steering shaft. There's 2 over here. One there. And where was the other one at? There's like 2 on here. Oh, down below. One there. One there. One there. Copy on that side. Maybe we'll do a brake adjustment too. Oh, real quick, if you want to know where the e-brake adjustment is, it's right here. So if you pull your e-brake and it still slowly rides forward, you can tighten that a click or 2. But before you do that, you should tighten these adjusters right here. You tighten that nut 1, 2, 3, and that will readjust your brakes. And here's your brake stop switch. If you push your e-brake in and the e-brake light is still on, you need to unthread that or thread that in. Here's how I disconnected some of the safeties for the I think this one, it goes to the governor. All you do, on every switch, PTO, governor, locking differential, all that, it needs to have a signal saying it's in low gear for it to come on. But if you pull this cord off or ground the ones on the other side, it tells it that it's in low gear, and that way you can drive in high gear and mow. I don't remember where this one actually came from. If you just, oh, I think I see it right there. that black cover that's missing a wire coming out of the end cap, I think is where that switch was. That looks like it was on. It's on the governor controls. Okay, let's recheck this. I'm gonna recheck this and start reassembling off camera. I'll do a little bit of filming to get you up to speed though. Okay, let's reinstall a little bit. We have to remember that we took this out of here, and it has it looks like a crankcase exhaust valve. So let's clean our surfaces, reinstall that tube. And there's where that goes. I think we can put our fuel tank back on, which I forgot to clean apparently. Pull these cords out. Reassemble our vent tubes. I don't remember, but I think these need to be pointing in so you have enough space to close everything on top. So if your airbox looks like this, please clean it like I'm about to do. And if your guide rail looks like that, order a new one. They're expensive. I just ordered one. It should be coming in here in a few days. I ordered a new backing plate, which is that side. A new guide, which is this foam that's on top of the plastic that goes into the wire mesh netting. And then I also ordered another outer cover, but you can clean those. But those are coming in the mail, so when they get in here, all I do is just spray a little bit of oil on them. I think it says you want some 10W30 on there, but I've got the actual spray, and then you'll just drop that in there. So, but let's clean this out and reinsert it. And then when my new items come in, I just drop that in. So I'm going to clean this off screen. Oh, and I bought a new one of those. Maybe I'll install that. No, it looks fine. Okay. Give me a few minutes. Alrighty. Got the box all cleaned up real good. Super duper shiny. Nice. Let's install that. You know, I bought a new one of these, but I don't think I'm going to install it just yet because this one's still alright. Of course, the two couplers in there go onto here, and we tighten them up with the Phillips. Now, before we do that though, let's clean out that intake. It had a little bit of oil in it. Remember to turn the collars so where the screws are set up for you to be able to tighten them. I think it's easier to get this one on first because it moves, and then you can just push this one on. Now, I'm not going to clean my air filter because I already said I've got a new one inbound, but all you would do is just pull this netting off. And there's double netting, and rinse, clean, and reinstall. This is still good. We'll save this. We'll put the fresh one on because in the whole year this is what it did, and that's pretty clean. I mean, it's filthy, but it's, I almost think I could just replace these yearly and be alright. And of course all that is just falling apart, so I'm just gonna put this back in, and I got a new one coming. The the air box cover actually has a gasket that goes all the way around. Mine is a little bit damaged, so I ordered a new one. So take a look at yours now. This is the time to replace that seal if need be. Let's put the top cover on now and rebolt that in, and then the seat, and then man, we're done. Okay, now we can reinstall our fuel line that we botched so badly earlier. Now let's return on, check for leaks. Oh, we still need to do our oil cover at the bottom. These two side covers. Which one? This one right here with the gap is the fuel. They just push into those tabs, those 1, 2s, and 3s. And 1, 2, and 3.